Welcome back. Well, we mount a spare tire in a toolbox. What do we need? We need some metal and some saws and all kinds of stuff. And I don't do good on the how-tos and whatnots, but anyway, this steel here I picked up for $60 at my local steel yard. Got it and a piece of scrap that I'll show you later. Anyway, I decided to start doing this. I've got a bunch of other pieces of scrap laying around that I'm going to probably use as I go along, but this is the basic layout you see here. I'm going to basically build a platform over the spare tire and put the toolbox on it. Now notice there, I just bought out that piece of 2x3 square tubing. That was a mistake. My original design, my original calculations were to use the 2x1 square tubing that I have on top and bring it down in front. And I thought, well, no, it's going to line up a lot better here with this crazy, point that I'm going to have to make. And it'll lie out really nice, on top of that. And I'm going to take and cut a piece of steel plate and put it on that little arrowhead and weld all that together. And boy, it'll be strong, right? So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm over here cutting out that angle so it'll be nice and straight. And there it is, all matched up, 22 degrees. Put that piece of plate there on top, weld that on there. And I'm going to put this on there. I'm going to weld that on there. I'm going to weld these right here. And then this whole thing just gets flipped over and put on my trailer. Well, while you watch me bubblegum this stuff together here, I'll give you the why for and the what for. I did it this way. So my spare tire sitting on the front like that, it doesn't have a whole lot of space. So if I made it go vertical and then put the toolbox in the front, the toolbox didn't have a whole lot of purchase to rest on that tongue. So by doing it this way, it allows me to have the toolbox up top, and then I'm going to build a small tray right there in the front, and it all goes well. Now notice there is my mistake. It's all coming to light right there. As you see, the 2x3 square tubing has now been changed to a 1-inch piece of C-channel because I forgot that I needed the space for the tire to be able to slide in and out of there. So I had to cut that down, and that's why I originally designed it to be a 1-inch piece. But I went ahead and cut that piece down, and it's going to be plenty strong. It's going to have a nice angle on it. I left an inch on top, so it's kind of like a custom piece now. So anyway, moving on, I have grinded the trailer, and I am mounting the bracket here. Don't watch me weld, it'll burn your eyes. Just kidding. The camera fixes that problem. Anyway, so after I got that mounted on there, I kind of laid out my brackets. This is some scrap angle iron I had laying around, and put my box up on there just to get a feel for how it's all going to go. And decided I liked it, welded it together, and now I'm using some expanded metal that I also picked up at the steel yard. I got this piece for like $27, I think, and it's a lot more than I need, but when you get it for scrap, you get what they got there. And now I'm just going to weld that into place. Now, I'm going to say something here that I didn't say later on, but when I go to paint this thing, I really wish I wouldn't have welded this on, because trying to paint those 1x2 square tubing underneath that expanded metal was a real chore. I got paint on it all, but it didn't come out as sheen and pretty as the rest. But it is a rack, so not too concerned with the aesthetics of that. But it's going to be plenty good and strong. When it's all said and done, I could stand on this, no problem, and I'm 300 pounds. So a little bit of wire brush work on the old drill here to get that all cleaned up. And now we are ready for paint. In case you're wondering how the spare tire is going to hold on, well, this is how. Couldn't find a hook bolt, so I got an eye bolt. You can see the size on there, and I'm turning it into a hook bolt. It's 1/2-inch steel, so it's way plenty strong. All the ones that I saw to buy were like 3/8 or 5/8, so it's nice and thick. I've got 2 butterfly nuts here. I'm going to drill a hole in each one. This way I've got a place for safety wire. This piece of steel here came with my axle for the trailer when I first bought it. I didn't need to use it. It was extra. So it just so happens these bolt holes are exactly the right distance apart. So I'm going to cut this thing up and make the bracket that's going to go below my frame, that's going to pull the spare tire and hold it on there tight. And as you see here, I've got it cut, and now I'm making some notches. Those notches are going to be where the safety wire can go in and hang on. And voila, kind of old school, easy, but definitely efficient. Well, as you can see, I did primer this rack, and now it's time to drill some holes to mount this box. I'm not going to mount it just yet because I want to paint it before I mount it. Bam, look at that. Just happened like that. Just painted it. Sorry, I didn't film painting it. Painting's pretty boring. But there's my piece that goes on the bottom. I also painted the hooks and even put a little bit of silver paint up in there. Good old chrome paint. Looks like brand new. Can't even tell it was painted or cut. And then here is the box mounted with the bolts down. Everything's all painted. It's all nice and tight. She's done. There's the spare tire. You can see it just goes up, grabs a hold of the hole, comes down nice and tight. Got the safety wire on here, and the whole thing just pulls in real tight against the frame, just like a regular spare tire rack would if it was on the side. And there it is, all done. I think I'm going to also add a tire cover for this thing, as well as a bicycle chain lock to lock that to the frame, just to make sure it stays safe. But out of the case, I'm pretty happy with it. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. God bless and take care.